Hello everyone, it is the rest day for the Tata Steel Masters 2022, and today we will be discussing a trip down memory lane. Okay, in the previous video we have Ferdinand winning over Nils Grandelius. Alright, I actually played these two players back then, right? And in 2018 I played Nils Grandelius in the Sharjah Masters, right? So let's take a look at that game. Trip down memory lane 2018 against Nils. Okay. I was black in that game. Okay, Nils played e4. I played e5. He played knight f3, knight f6. So now this is going into the Petrov or the Russian game. Yeah, the Petrov. Yes. It's a solid approach by black. Okay, if he wants a draw, that's fine with me, but I will take my chances. So you went for knight takes e5, d6, back to f3, knight takes e4, just to show you, right, that it's not good to capture that pawn on e4. Okay, it's not good to capture the pawn on e4 because the pawn will just go to queen e2. Right? And let's say your pawn protects the knight, the pawn has d3, and if let's say you move back, then he has this discovered attack on c6, hitting your queen, and queen hits the king. Okay. And then if let's say you play queen to e7, for example, the pawn will capture on e4, you play d6 and then d4. If you take, then we take, and white has an extra pawn. Yeah. Okay, so after d6, he went back, played knight takes e4. He played d4, okay, bishop e7. Another way here is also knight c3. Now let's say black takes on c3, takes on c3, bishop into e7, bishop goes to e3. If I castle here, go queen e2, knight to d7, and castles queenside. This is also an aggressive approach to the Petrov. All right, let's go back. White went for d4. Okay, I played bishop e7, preparing castling. He played bishop to d3. I went back to f6. Castle inside, also castles. h3, c5. I want to break that central pawn. Yeah. Normal developing move, the knight c3. Takes. Okay, this is an interesting approach since it isolates my pawn on d6. But I was like, okay, I just want a lead in development also. So knight c6. Okay, after takes on d4, knight d4, knight c6. Bishop e3. White has completed his development. Rook to e8. Rook e1, knight e5. Okay. He kept his bishop back to f1. If let's say he attacks my rook with the bishop to b5, we'll just go bishop d7. You want bishop f1, okay, h6. This is king safety. Just opening up your king. You went for bishop f4, attacking my knight, bishop f8. The pawn protects, also the rook protects. Play knight f3. Now it's 1, 2, and 3, attacking my knight on e5. Play queen a5. So I also have 3 defenders: the rook, pawn, and the queen. Right. Going for bishop b5. I mean, is blocking the protection of my queen to the e5 square. So I have knight takes f3 check first. All right. Queen takes f3. Rook takes e1. Takes e1. All right. Only one rook on that first rank. I play d5. Yes. The knight, of course, cannot take on d5 because I have an x-ray on the rook on e1. You played bishop e5. Okay, the point of d5 was for me to go for knight e4. Again, the knight couldn't capture that knight or this pawn because I have queen takes e1. He went back to d3. Now I have f5. A grip, central grip. 2 pawns protecting my knight. My bishop is protecting f5. while maintaining the pin on the rook on e1. He played rook d1, moving out of the pin. Bishop e6, developing my last piece. Okay, I still have my rook, sorry. So my rook on e8, develop my bishop on e6. Knight on b5, threatening knight d4 or knight c7. I played queen to b6. He played knight d4. Okay, probably not the best move in the position. I was actually hoping for knight c7 here. If let's say I play rook c8, he would go for knight c6, queen to c6, and white has the bishop d4, two strong bishops, right? Two centralized bishops, and maybe I will have a hard time. Although I have b6 and try to go for bishop c5, and I'm counting on my knight that strong outpost also on e4. Okay, when he played knight d4, probably he was trying to go for knight f5. Trying to win a pawn. Played rook to e8, and he captured. Okay, let's look at this pawn. Is this free? Let's say he plays knight takes f5. I was waiting for that one. I was like, okay, he captures. Hopefully he captures, right? Because I have bishop takes f5, queen takes f5, rook takes e5. Yes, that was my hope. Queen takes e5, I have knight takes f2. Queen takes d5 check, for example, this king to d8. Now he has to worry about knight takes and then also knight takes d3. Now let's say, for example, he plays the rook to f1, have knight takes d3 check. He plays king h1, I have knight f2 check. And if he plays king h2, I probably would go for queen to d6. Takes, and if king goes back to g1, knight e4. Okay, maybe this is dynamically equal, but at least I have two minor pieces for the rook. And we'll get my chances later in the game. So you went for bishop takes e4. Now it's me having the two bishops now. Okay, so d takes on e4, queen h5, bishop f7. And he probably thought that he could take the pawn on f5, and then the e4 pawn is hanging, but I also have queen takes b2. Bishop b6, queen takes b2. Right, I was protecting that pawn on, and by the way, that bishop is also protected. Or maybe the bishop b7 was not the best. I could have captured the b2 straight away, yeah. Because with the queen takes f5, bishop g6, he could have probably played bishop c7. But I will still keep my two bishops with queen e6. Okay, let's go back. Bishop b6, bishop g6, queen f4 takes on b2, a4, queen a2. I leave that pawn, right? Potential outside pass pawn, the a pawn. You play bishop d6. All right, one pawn is enough to win the game. You play bishop takes f8, rook takes f8. Queen g3, threatening my bishop. Queen e8. It's better to be safe than sorry. I have to control the bishop and this e6 square, not allowing any knight e6 ideas. So regrouping, and my pieces are together. In unity, there is strength. The pieces are together. So he went for rook a1, just to a6. He went for rook to b1, b5. Okay. Continuing the advancement of my pawns, especially my pass pawn, my pass a pawn. Rook a1, rook f6. The rook protects a6. It also protects the bishop. And the queen keeps an eye on any backroom threats. Played c3, okay, protecting his knight on d4. Okay, king safety. Yes, king behind pawns. King is the most important piece in the game, so you have to keep that safe. The safe king. So he went for knight to c2, queen to e8, controlling the open file. Queen to e3, rook b6, double up on the open file. He played queen e1. Okay, it's not just controlling, by the way, the file also, but it's also taking away this square. So I have a5, and I want that pawn to advance. So advance out the a pawn. a5, he played knight e3, queen c7 first. Okay, he has an isolated pawn on c3. It's stronger when you have connected pass pawns. So rook in c1, rook d3, so attacking that pawn. Once I get that pawn, it's hard to stop this connected pawns. He played queen b2. The bishop now protects b5. My queen protects a5. I'm attacking c3. Rook to a3. Queen to b6. Went back. Queen c7. Okay, just gaining time, by the way. Rook a3, a4. Okay. 3 steps away. 1, 2, 3. You pick queen b4, queen f4. Rook to a2 because he was worried about rook d2. I was attacking the queen also. Queen e5, centralized queen. He thinks c3 once more. You play rook c2, bishop f7. Right. Rook c1, and then an important move h5. I didn't want this knight to annoy my queen. Yeah. So I played h5 to stop any knight g4 ideas. We went back to f1, right, with the rook on c1, the final tactic here, e3. It's a nice tactic. A tempo, you know. Takes on e3, takes on e3. He cannot take on e3, let's say take, because I have this double attack on the king and the rook on e3. So he played rook to b1. Okay, rook takes e3. Again, he cannot take this pawn. I will just go queen b4 check. Yes, or even I can capture that. Rook takes b5 and then just a3, a2. That's why the bishop. But that's why I play my bishop f7, because I will protect that a2 square, go to rook c1, and then promote the pawn. So he played queen h4, probably hoping for kingside threats. Okay, a3. I wasn't worried because my bishop and my centralized queen is protecting h5. He played rook to e1. Of course, check, intermediate check with c5. Tempo, extra move. The king h1. Pass pawn must be pushed. One step away from promoting. Play queen f4, bishop d6. Keep an eye on the king. Keep an eye on the pawn. Safety. He played knight g3, and my final move was queen c7. And here he resigned because my queen and my rook is attacking that knight on g3. And if the queen takes, the queen, rook takes, and these two connected pass pawns, so let's roll over the board and win for back. All right, it was a nice win against Nils, and actually for the first 6 rounds here in the Shard Masters, this is very heartbreaking for me also because I had 5 out of 6 after 6 rounds. I beat 3 GMs, by the way. I beat Rachmanov here. I defeated Rachmanov and another GM, and I only need half a point for the last 3 rounds, I guess. Okay, in the next round I was playing Safarli, and then another round with Naidich. It was already a draw against Naidich. It was already a perpetual, but I was very optimistic because he had seconds to play, and heartbreak among heartbreaks. I lost those 2 important games. Okay, I was tied for 2nd place after 6 rounds with 5 out of 6, and I just messed up the last 3 for my final norm. But it happens. It happens. Those losses will make you stronger next time around. Again, there's always next time. But I shouldn't lose those chances. But what can we do? It's all in the past. It's part of history. That's my story. His story. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. And then the next video will be a game against Pragnananda. I'll see you around in the next one. Thanks. Continue to support Charge Smash Chess. This is Coach Oliver signing off.